button that was part of that activity table at the market. And she was very proud of herself. So for statistics in June, that I really like showing the tangible use of the library. And I've done the full year numbers and the 6-month numbers. So these are numbers just for June. The total number of visits in June was 6,076. There were 930 child and teen program attendees, and there were 1,230 adult program attendees. The most popular single program is the Bubble Bus on the Front Lawn, which was the kickoff of the summer reading program. 180 adults and children attended. And just on a personal note on the summer reading program, I think there really ought to be an increase in the number of milestones for reading. So my daughter, and I'm not bragging, my daughter hit the milestone inside of about 5 days. So, and she very much appreciates the cooking for sure. For a reminder for the library, one of the great services that the library offers at no charge is notary service. And I think if you ask when it's being performed, how much it costs, they will tell you that it's no fee, but if you want to leave a donation, you can leave a donation. And if you look at the library financials, you might be surprised at how significant the donations are for services. But in June, it was an all-time high for using the notary service. There were notarizing events for 322 patrons, which means that there were more than 322 documents notarized. The busiest day was Tuesday, June 4th. 23 people requested notary services. So maybe that was a lot of house closings or something like that. And there's still a few spaces left in the inaugural Great Pelham Puzzle Race, which is this Saturday from 1:30 to 3:30. It's for adults 18 and up. Registration is required. Call the library officer or email ngross, NGROSS @pelhamlibrary.org. And as an additional benefit, you get to compete against me and my wife at my team of puzzle racers. And I think, yeah, that's it for the library.
Oh, I have one thing. I saw something about the Booktoberfest. It doesn't that go on sale soon? Tickets for the Booktober.
So at the last month's library board of trustees meeting, there was extended discussion about upcoming Booktoberfest, and I can't recall exactly the ticket on sale date, but the library website I'm sure has it, but there's a subsection on the library website for friends of the library as well.
It's next week, right?
That's the 15th.
When?
The 15th.
15th.
July 15th.
When they go on sale.
They go on sale July 15th and it's in October.
Yeah, beginning of October.
I'll be
October 10th.
there. Thank you. So the camp season has begun and we have a record number of children participating. The day camp unfortunately went to a Met game and well, events, but they had fun despite the outcome. Last week they went to Memorial Field, which is in Mount Vernon, to watch a soccer game. and they participated in the halftime events, so that was very exciting. Tiny Tots and Big Tots are running smoothly. And with the record heat not last week, the week before, and the anticipated heat coming up, there will be a lot of water activities. Children are requested to wear their bathing suits. There will be a lot of sprinkler action and slip and slides and other fun things. Sewing camp was a huge hit. They, so much so, they've added another session in the beginning of August, and registration is open online. Open Mahjong. More on. It's on Wednesday night, 6:30 to 8:30 here in the townhouse. Beginner lessons will begin on Monday, July 20th. And those will have the twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays, and just last 3 weeks. So you'll be an expert in 3 weeks, not 6. And Maura will take them on. I think you're our resident expert, or maybe you're not showing your hand or your tiles, that's it. Summer concerts, we will be serenaded in about 10 minutes. They kick off at 7:30 on Monday nights. In case of rain, they reschedule them. The last 2, I believe, it rained, and they moved it to Wednesday on both cases. You can see everything either on our Facebook account or online. Let's see what I'm missing. Signups for men's and ladies tennis are still open if anybody wants to play. The seniors have been incredibly active as per usual. They don't differentiate between school year and summer. Medical band trips are 29. Exercise and movement is Tuesday and Thursday, 10 to 11. Yoga Friday, 10 to 11. The Glover Field Walking Club is on Wednesday, 10 to 11. Check the website for this week because it will be on almost 100 degrees, so they may not do it. Arts and craft, the first Thursday of the month, 1 to 3. Mahjong lessons, if you're over 55, they're free. Wednesdays, 12:30 to 1:30. Card playing Monday after the meetings, and Wednesday and Friday, 12 to 3:30. Trips include a luncheon at Kenny's on the Water. Transportation is not included. A pool party at Saxon Woods, and then birthday cake celebration, visits from the Sock and Buskin theater group from the high school. Our town supervisor stopped in and talked to them. The town of Pelham hosted that luncheon they had that day. A lunch with civics and entertainment by Danielle Hoover. There was also a speaker from New York Medical Aid in Dying Act and on Living Wills. Bingo is from 2 to 3:30 on the days. Pelham Together's internship program kicks off later this month with job skills training for a week, followed by mentoring and job responsibilities at the companies who have hired them. And a special happy anniversary to my husband, Christy Angelo, who is in the audience. It has been 24 years. So that's the good news. Hopefully I can make this announcement next year that it's 25. All right. Thank you very much. Any questions from the board?
Yes, thank you. Just want to apologize for being late. My timer flew out in Tarrytown, dropping my dog off tonight. So that's why I look like this. I don't usually try. I'm so disheveled for meetings, so I apologize. I just wanted to tag off of the rec department. Pelham Travel Soccer has been promoting an outing that they're having this coming Wednesday. the women's Gotham FC is playing at City Field. They usually play in Jersey. So $25 tickets, go on Pelham Trafford website for that. So from, yeah, it's great. So from the courts, this courts update now, they posted and have been interviewing for court clerk position. It's going very, very well. They have a number of fantastic candidates. I think we're going to have a finalist very shortly announced. The JCAP brand window opened again, and we're hoping to put in another grant for the bulletproof glass court clerk's office. I think that's about $20,000 that we'd be looking to recoup. So that'd be great. And then there's no court the first week of August and vacations. And I wanted a little update, I think Weatherfield, just that continues to progress. A group of us met with the commissioner of Mount Vernon, and their grants people are connecting with the village of Pelham grants people, and actually the man, Lindsay Bond, right, and her group. And so that continues to move at a snail's pace, but we're trying to keep it pushing forward. So, and that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, leadership. Okay, supervisors report, this will be very quick. This will be a large portion of it is not the agenda for later. You have the general ledger transactions for June and also the statement of records and expenditures review. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'd also like to report that the auditors have completed our audit. You will be getting your final audit report. But what that does is put us in the position to file our AFR with the state. The ongoing project that I really want to talk to you about tonight is the last item on the agenda, so we can set that. Okay. All right, let's move to the first item on our agenda, which is recognition of Julie Sakari for her Girl Scout Gold Award project.
Thank you. So thank you so much to the council members for having me here, and thank you to everyone for joining me here for the support. I have a lot of acknowledgements. So firstly, thank you to Arthur Cinta for inviting me here tonight, even though he's not here. He has been such a support throughout my project in terms of helping me with my sustainability and learning how to use the external hard drive to upload all my voice memos onto of all the recordings of my veterans. Thank you to firefighter Jonathan Casper. He's right there. I just want to say that, you know, he never really met me. He hadn't met me, but he met my mom and she told him about my project, and he took an interest and continued to help me throughout it and provide me with opportunities. I want to say thank you to my team members, such as my fellow Girl Scouts, Mia and Paz, and my sister Layla, my brother Aiden, my parents, and my auntie Nikki. My friends and family dedicated so much time to me, helping me to complete my project to the level that I did, and I would not have been able to do it without them. Thank you to Assemblywoman Amy Paulin and Allison Bergman. They were two other amazing women that I got to work with. They opened so many doors for me in terms of opportunities to help strengthen my project. And thank you to Kathy Jones and Gabrielle Romali, who are also here, for their guidance and their advice throughout the course of my project. And of course, my deepest gratitude goes out to the veterans who helped bring life to my project with their amazing stories. They were so gracious with their time and so candid with their experiences that I came away like affected after hearing each story. I want to acknowledge everyone who participated in my project and trusted me with their story. So Phil Parizio, Phil Chiami, Basil Chiampi, Mike McDermott, Rob Burnett, Ramsey McRory, Dominic Filippione, Frank Cohen, Barbara Zimmer, Rose McFarland, Laura King, and Jack Morrow. Those were all people that participated in my project, and I'm so grateful for them. When I started this project, I knew I wanted to create something meaningful that would preserve stories that might otherwise be forgotten. Our veterans have lived through moments of history that many of us only get to read in textbooks, yet their experiences and sacrifices are often left untold. I wanted to help ensure that these voices will continue to be heard. I collected and preserved oral stories from the veterans in my community, hosted workshops, and spread awareness about the importance of collecting these stories and the importance of oral storytelling. Our veterans are the reason that we're able to sit in this room and listen to us speak today. We have done so much for this country, and oftentimes we do forget that they are human too. Veterans are portrayed as figures from history in our school, all throughout school, and many kids don't realize that there are veterans that live their life daily among us. You might see them in uniform on Memorial Day, but you also might see them at a coffee shop or in Target. These people have amazing stories that need to be heard. And along the way, during my project, I had the privilege of supporting military families and creating Purple Heart cards to express the gratitude for those who have served. Sitting across from someone and listening to their story reminded me of the power of human connection and the responsibility that we all have to preserve the experiences of those who came before us. As everyone here knows, this year we are celebrating America's 250th birthday. It is an honor for me to have memorialized some of the brave stories of those that helped us get to this point. I think all of you would agree that this country wouldn't be as great as it is if not for the sacrifices of people like the ones that I interviewed. I hope this project will encourage others to listen to stories around them and preserve the voices of those who otherwise might go unheard. Most gold awards do come to an end on submission, but I do want to continue mine, and I want to continue like the effort that I've started to preserve the stories. My goal in this project was to have a platform for these veterans so they can have their stories heard any day of the week, not just during special events. And so I want to keep collecting stories, and I truly hope that I've achieved this goal. So I'm handing over my hard drive that has all the stories downloaded onto here, as well as the transcriptions. Binder. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Tonight, the town council is to recognize and thank Julie for the extraordinary work she completed as part of the Girl Scout Golden Award project. These interviews with veterans have preserved their personal oral histories, ensuring that their experience and service and memory will remain available for future generations. She has provided the town story, a collection of recordings of those interviews on the external hard drive, together with the written transcripts. This project is a meaningful contribution to the town and our historical record. It honors the veterans who share their stories and reflects Julie's dedication, thoughtfulness, and commitment to our community. On behalf of the town of Pelham, I am honored to accept these materials and to thank Julie for helping preserve this important part of the Pelham's history. Congratulations on your project, and thank you for this last meeting to the town. We all are very good for the work that you've done, and I'm looking forward to this meeting. Thank you. Obviously, say
One quick thing, I know Julie since the early Huguenot days with my son Henry, and I just could not be any more proud of you and your contributions to the town of Pelham, and give me so much hope for the future of our youth. So thank you, Julie.
At this point, we're going to be moving into the next part of our agenda. I'm not sure how many people are interested in seeing that. We're going to dedicate ourselves as recipients of voluntary animal shelter implementation for the approval of certain sociality settlements. So I have to give you guys an opportunity. Well, you certainly know that there.
So there's a few things on the agenda before we end with a discussion about the facilities planning. First is designating the town as recipient of voluntary animal shelter contributions pursuant to the New York State Agricultural and Markets Law, section 111. This is a required. It was required, I think, in December of 2025, and we are enacting it so that when people come to get their dog license, they also can make voluntary contributions to support the animal shelter. Any questions? Then I have a motion. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Any opposed? All right, the next 3 resolutions are settlements that we're entering into for tax certiorari purposes. The first is in the matter of LM 415 Fifth Avenue LLC versus the assessor of the town of Pelham. As you'll see in these resolutions, we are accepting a settlement. The financial terms of this settlement is there is a chart at the end of the resolution showing you what the impact to the town is. Does anybody have a question with regard to first resolution out of element? It's money, there was a change in an assessment. That basically the way it works is you are the assessor issuing assessment. That assessment equals a certain portion of the tax based on the tax. If you challenge your assessment, in this case, the legal actions, you can get a reduction for those sections. It takes some time for those processing reports. So you have years, like here, for instance, we have 6 years without changes. That result because of the lower assessment in a refund of certain taxes. The results go refund by the school district paying this. We pay this back to the owner of the property. So in the first case, it's going to be $548. Any other questions? May I have a motion? So second. All in favor? Moving on to the second settlement, it is in the matter of Cases Associates Inc. Again, this actually began in 2019 and the years of jury to be taken to date. This will result in a town refund of $906.07. Any questions? They have a motion? Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, but the last tax certiorari settlement is Pelham Fifth Avenue JP LLC versus the Pelham. This was a matter that was brought this year. It is one of the reasons that we're interested in resolution right now. It's about the town assessor looked at the information that's given partial after that was filed where last year. This change in assessment is not resolved in but it was the taxes and that will be that. Okay, so this is just changing the assessment on our books. This will result the assessment resulted in $2.8 billion reduction in value of this commercial property. Any questions? Then a motion. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
That brings us to a discussion of the town facilities planning study. What you have before you is the report for the task two. It's a task two progress report. And this is something that the deputy town clerk and I have been working on with the architects. We've had several meetings with the architect and we are working, trying to figure out, the best use of our town property. If you look at the report, I think the most impactful thing is when you look at page 4. The first part of the report talks a little bit about our parking lot. We have a survey. The survey is not adequate for us to do an engineered report on the parking lot. We are stimulating a adequate. So there hopefully is one that exists. We just don't. But the third section talks about creating a cluster of creation of functional clusters. So what we've done is we've looked at the services that the town provides, where they're located right now in both Durango and the townhouse, and trying to come up with options to really best utilize our facilities to provide the services to our citizens. It's not ideal right now that the court clerks are in the town hall and the court services are, the court occurs here in townhouse. It's created a lot of confusion for people trying to figure out where to pay tickets, how to get there. The court clerks themselves have to move a lot of equipment during court days. So where they are right now is not ideal. So part of the Durango first floor options is trying to figure out how we can relocate them here while continuing to provide recreation services here and to provide all of the different activities that occur both in the Guild Room and here, and finally add that kitchen to this facility that would allow us to, that would allow people to have better use of catering and kitchen services. So this chart, which I'd like to walk you through, Durango's first floor options, has all of the things that we would like to have. Like these are all the things that we would like to have here. The judges do not have a chamber right now. They cannot conduct their conferences in confidentiality. So part of that is a judge's chamber. Moving the court clerks back here. The constables currently are on the second floor, and the reality is there should be no people on the second floor. We need 2 handicap accessible toilets. Our toilets we have are not adequate. We need a new kitchen. We would like, one of the nice to haves would have been to create a new meeting room. We need to update the Guild Room, and we need to like refurbish the current main boarding room, large meeting space. So with that, we went through 4 options with Geddes Associates. Best option was option number 1, which if you look at your package is basically the first option, the first page of architectural. You can see here that what we're trying to do is basically as you walk in.
It might be.
You would walk into a. Yeah. Okay. Hello. Yeah, okay. All right, so if we look at this drawing, as you walk in, walk into when we're trying this lobby. And we would be faced where the developers are essentially now with a window that would allow you to transact.
Started getting feedback.
Was there a big?
Yeah.
It's.
It would take the space to, right?
Right, yeah.
Office and the.
Use some questions.
And that it would leave space for the red carpet. And we would take the kitchen, the little safe area that we have now, and we would take the room behind it and make that into a kitchen. What we would do in the back is actually take this current dais and create underneath it storage space. And then we would add movable, and then it would storage space behind us, and really we would be able to tell the difference. And we would make it so that there's movable furniture here, because we would be coming out to basically a little further than where the fire wall is. In creating the addition. So we want to get as much space in the room as we can from this area. So that's option one that we have in the back program is now we a space for the constables, for their lockers, and a constable. And then as you go on the right, we have our whole base cell. Then dedicated as a whole cell. Storage. On the, at this door here, we would read the judge's chamber, or we could also have one of the court clerks. So that's sort of what option one looks like. Option one is the only one that gives us right now. It's still a work in progress. Basically everything that will. The one thing that's gonna, we are currently in replacing the lighting in the hallways of the Bronco. We have two options that have been given to us. I'm gonna start pictures on them. So I think that one is more the obvious choice because we need to make that change now. And I think it's not a lot. So I'll circulate that to the board so we can change that direction down, but it will be consistent with the future plans for the town. Okay. The second thing that we've discussed is changes to town hall. And obviously the most important thing that all of these changes are trying to drive is easy access for people that use these services. So by putting bracket in front, you can log in or pick up your t-shirts, you can log in, you can pay your tickets, you can log in to the court services. I would also like to mention that the doors of either side 6 feet wide, which again, for the judges will allow one session, speaking for us and out for us for the people with disability that we have to use. Moving to Chapel Hall, we had to identify all of the services that we want to put on the first. One of the first things we did in the first meeting in January, the supervisor was look at the plan to put in a elevator and keep the services where they were on the second floor. You know, as we heard from our architect time, that required a lot of work in terms of removing the current grant that we have. And I think that there's a way to do this without the need for an elevator immediately and also getting all of our services on first. In a way that it can. The plan for that, if you will, that is next week. On this. That's the second one. Okay. We look at the second to last drawing. With this one. And I'd like to tell everybody that
currently relocated at the town clerk, first floor of the town hall. And the next few days, the phones will be going in, so that people coming into town hall, just pick up the phone, again, the services they need without. What the reconfigured town hall would look like, this early option of looking at would be a lobby. A transaction window in the front. We would have now an open concept staff, which would house our assessor, our tax receiver. We would have a new assessor's office, and we would reconfigure the current EMS area, and also create a dedicated exit for EMS with office on that floor. So we continue to look at creating a conference room where business can be conducted, bringing our staff down here so that they can interact with the public directly, and creating 2 new handicap accessible bathrooms for public use and parties. So these are preliminary, we're just at phase 2, but I did want to get you guys a sense of what we've been doing and just get thoughts. We're going back to the question of the two concepts here. There's the concept of these 2 kind of offices right here.
Yeah.
And that would be the forward facing for the clerks. Yep. The facing public. Yes, that's here will be a transaction, and two sort of desks that we have really seen on market day. Okay, so there's and then 2 back. And then the rec is going to be for that. So pretty clean, it's sort of bigger. Yeah, and yes. I guess my only thought is there going to be space in all of this, like about people coming out? I think that the answer is yes, both of these doors are going to be 6. Okay. So it's going to create a nice symbol. Okay. We're gonna like the idea is to use these doors. And
Times.
try to interact. But again, this is preliminary. If you have it with us, feel free to but I just wanted to give you a sense of these. The other part of this span. You'll put the rec department over there and expand it because there are 4. Yes. Right. It would be considerably. Okay, so they'll take over where the bathrooms are and then that other. If that. If there's, it's impossible to be a second entrance, then you should be stairs there. Yeah. So we're trying to figure out. Yes, I think it's. I took a big.
One of the things that I think that Dennis Architects is very good at is envisioning using modularity with multiple functionality. So there are to some extent like things like offices and like the transaction windows and stuff really can only have one usable purpose, but to the extent there are other areas or rooms or even things like this, the storage, for example, underneath here and behind here is a great concept for one, right, or multiple functions and multiple uses and ability to change as needs and use of the space changes as well. So I don't have anything productive to add specifically for that regard, but just encouraging Dennis to keep thinking creatively about how we can, make use of this space is used during the daytime on certain days for court. On other days, what can it be made in inviting use for That's not gonna go, but
Yeah, this space of use, this is the most biggest space I think. It's one of the most biggest spaces. we have. There are exercise classes here, there are the seniors at their meetings here, there's a way to create better space, but. The really underutilized space that we have is the building. And they're not something to do. It's the idea is to create, I think it will become the jam. It can be a place where people meet. But the functionality, we're pushing that out, but I do think that you're absolutely right. One of the things that is sort of actually doing is seeing what we have and all those different options, just constantly iterating on how to make this better. There are certain things that we've had to eliminate in this process to come up with the best solution given our limitations. But I do think that actually one of the right now, yes, that doesn't mean they haven't stopped thinking about all the, how to make it done. What we're trying to accomplish is to get a plan that people all come to terms that we are, and then to start the work because we have a great. And some of the other things in progress. So we can pursue other grants for other aspects of this project. There's a project we need to start with. Which is exciting. But I look forward to your feedback and you have this. So I guess this is more is. All right, let's move on to items. Approval of minutes for May 14. Everybody have just the window.
I sent some changes to, following and, I mean, which were acknowledged, so I wouldn't say
That's minutes.
as amended.
But for May or for June? Because the May was the special meeting.
I'm sorry.
So it's meeting, there's no that's. And it's motion for that second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Now for people, the 2 minutes as a minute. I have a motion.
So
Second. Thank you. All in favor? Okay, at this time, we would like to adjourn for executive session to talk about personnel. Take off.
See?